were the Moors of the Middle Ages? People have insisted that the Moors were just the Muslims who invaded Spain. Others will insist that the Moors were a diverse group of people and not a single racial group, often confusing the diversity of the Islamic empires with the identity of these specific people called Moors. If we observe medieval literature, we will find that the description of the Moors has nothing to do with a religious identity. Instead, it is one of the earliest concepts of a racial group in the medieval world. From the 9th century, the Annals of Ireland. After this, the Danes passed over the whole country, and they plundered and burnt the whole country, and they carried off a great host of them as captives to Erin. And these are the blue men of Erin. For Mori is the same as Nigriman, and Mauritania is the same as Nigritudo. Long indeed were these blue men in Erin. From the 12th century Norman author of the Itinerarium Peregrinorum, Et Gesta Regis Ricardi. From Africa too there came countless tribes, the Nadabari, Gaetulians, and Numidians, and from the scorching south, the people named Moors or Mauritanians, from the Greek word moros, which means black. From the 12th century Italian author Liber Derivationum of Pisanus Ugutio, Moor, a certain people burnt black with summer heat. From the 13th century, Middle Dutch Lancelot. Compilation. Moors are as black as a burnt torch, but in all things that one would praise in a knight, he was fair after his own fashion. Though he was black, what harm was it? Nothing about him was unbecoming. From the 13th century, Spanish Cantigas of Alfonso. All the Moorish soldiers were dressed with silk and black wool that had been forcibly acquired. Their black faces were like pitch, and the most handsome of them was as black as a cooking pan. From the 14th century, the Travels of Sir John Mandeville. And between Egypt and Nubia it hath well a 12 journeys of desert, and men of Nubia be Christian, but they be black as the Moors, for the great heat of the sun. Ethiopia is departed in 2 parts principal, and that is in the east part and in the southern part. The southern part is called Mauritania. And the folk of that country be black enough and more black than in the other part, and they be called Moors. In medieval literature, the identity of the Moors is clearly defined as blackness. Acknowledging this simple fact does not take away the existence of other tribes and nations that were in Spain. Several nations of people are mentioned in the medieval literature of the Crusades. There were different dynasties that ruled and different nations that ruled over the different parts of Spain. The aggregation of black-skinned foreigners and nomads existing in North African kingdoms had greatly contributed to the confusion about the origin of the Moors. Likewise with Spain, the existence of the Moors does not take away the existence of other tribes and nations that were in North Africa. The Song of Roland can help clear up the confusion about the early invaders of the 8th century. His uncle, the Algalith, still is nigh. Lord of Carthagena is he, of Alferna's shore and Garmally, and of Ethiopia accursed land. The black battalions at his command, with nostrils huge and flattened ears, outnumber 50,000 spears, and on they ride in haste and ire, shouting their heathen war cry. In regards to the Moorish identity of this period, the medieval Christians did not know the proper names and nations of these black-skinned people. They chose to create an identity of these people that was based on the color of their skin.